This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington Tri-State Area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey, what's going on? Here it is. It's the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. Here we are. There you are, and I know you're as excited as I am. Welcome to the Safety Town episode. I'm your host, W.G. Bunch. I've got two guests today. Typically, I don't do two guests, but I'm going to do two today. One is lovely and talented. The other one has enough pull that he could probably get me arrested, so I'll be nice to him as well. But let's say thanks to the sponsor, Realty Exchange, for all of your real estate needs. Number one in the Huntington Tri-State Area, licensed in Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Florida. Also, the podcast company, Circle 270 Media. Thank you, Circle 270 Media, for helping with the show. If you have a podcast and you want to improve it or you want to start one, Circle 270 Media. Google them, easy to find. Here are my two guests. I'm going right into it, baby. I'm going right into it. I have Safety Town Director, Vanessa Hankins.
Hi, guys.
There she is, Safety Town Director. That just sounds like a dream job.
Pretty cool title, huh?
We're gonna talk about that. Then, I got the chief. Retired HPD police chief Hank Dial, current city manager. How are you, sir?
Doing well, and you, sir?
I'm doing great. I've known Hank for a long time. We used to battle for cars in the Stewart's
That's right.
Parking lot. I would walk away with $5 in tips, and meanwhile he was buying a yacht. He was much better at it than me. So, all right, let's get into Safety Town a little bit. It was open when? Because I'm an idiot. I don't have these notes or anything, but approximately when? I know it's more than 5 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
More than 5, because I went there, my mom went there.
Oh.
So 1974 is our official where we are brick and mortar, but I was told, and again, this is before me, maybe you can elaborate on this a little bit.
How old do you think I am, woman?
Just guessing, you know. But I believe it started in Miller Elementary's parking lot with some tricycles in the early 70s, earlier.
And that might have been, I think, is that where you remember it, Hank?
I do. I remember it where it's at now.
Yeah.
That's my first memory of it.
And so it's been around since, let's say, early 70s.
Yeah.
Now, what I remember, and gosh, when I announced this on social media a week or two ago, I got
People went crazy.
Deluged with, you got to ask about this and that, the other thing. So, you see, back in the old school days, we did it on tricycles.
Yeah.
But now you all have cars, like actual like go-karts or what?
We have electric go-karts, yeah. We found these, and I think that it was Bo Evans with the Department of Highway Safety who was over it at the time. He found this company out of Oregon, and they make amusement carts. And who would have thought Safety Town amusement carts? But they're called Kitty Falcons, and they're all electric, and they're awesome.
Kitty Falcons?
Kitty Falcons.
Now, okay, there has to be a speed. How fast would those things go?
Paperwork says 4 miles an hour, but if a kid's lighter, it'll go a little faster. Which seems really slow, but when you're on that little course, they fly.
So it's kind of like Mario Kart. The lighter the character, the smaller the character,
yes,
the faster the car.
That's exactly.
Makes sense. That makes, because tricycles, we didn't have to worry. I mean, it was just like whoever the most athletic kid was who could pedal the fastest was the one that
Best leg muscles.
Yes, because I remember, and I'm not going to say who she is, but she's a prominent physician in town. When I was at Safety Town, she got off of her tricycle and got hit by another tricycle. And it was all like a whole thing of like, she's down. And we were like, how could this happen? We're on tricycles.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say, because I know both names, and they didn't give me permission to name them. But they actually, there was an incident, not a fatality, but it was an incident.
We don't like fatalities.
All right.
So it was unsafety town for a day.
I thought she was being paid off.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, okay, we're going to pay you under the tables to like show everybody, here's a worst case scenario, kids.
There you go.
Here's how it works. So, all right. Vanessa, I got my questions to you. I mean, what's the typical day at Safety Town? I mean, like, if is it just classrooms of kids? Can kids go on their? Is it something like Roll-A-Rama where you can just go for a day or what?
No, that makes people so mad. Makes people get fired up. We are actually, we're an education facility.
I have to just mention it before I go. Vanessa is wearing a Safety Town, very cool, monogrammed long sleeve tee, and her earrings are traffic lights.
They're amazing. I love these.
And Hank's nose ring is a traffic light, which is amazing. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I couldn't go on in further. All right, so a day at Safety Town. What are we doing?
So a day at Safety Town, usually I'm met with an HPD officer around 8:45. We wait for the bus to arrive by 9:05-ish. He helps me he or she, there's a few girls, get the kids off the bus. We carry their lunches in. We get them acquainted.
Now, what's the average? 30 kids? 10 kids? 50?
Less than 30. Less than 30. Sometimes we hit 30, but that's really pushing it in our small classroom.
Okay.
Really pushing it. But we'll have an aide and a teacher that comes in with them. Bus drops them off. We talk. We do some Q&A with the HPD officer. That the kids always love that. A lot of the officers, first thing they want to know.
Now, Hank, did you ever do that? Did you ever show up and say, "Hey, kids, I'm the one that could arrest you if you don't mind your P's and Q's"?
Well, I'm a proud former substitute teacher at Safety Town.
Oh, wow.
There was a period there in the late 90s, early 2000s that if the officer wasn't available for that day, I would go down and sub in for Safety Town. And, that's when you're having a good week, when you get to do a couple sub days at Safety Town. That's good work.
Now, when kids go to Safety Town, is it all done in one day, or is it like a 2-day thing?
It used to be 2 days, but now it's 1 day.
Yeah.
So you guys cram it all into one day. And are they have to just be chomping at the bit to just like, when do we get to
the first
drive the car?
Yeah,
Drive
that's the first question immediately.
And the second question, and the third question, and the fourth question.
What if it rains?
So we try to watch the weather very, very closely to literally catch it within that 1 hour window before the kids are going to arrive. So we have a system set up where I have an immediate contact for whatever school is coming that day and let them know, hey, it's just not going to happen. But we have rain dates set into our schedule. So if we have to cancel that day, they know immediately.
So if it does rain, it just, the class doesn't happen or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine tears are all over the place.
Oh,
They would
yeah.
show up and they're like, we don't get to drive.
Right, because we as adults, of course, we want them to have the education, but them coming to us, and even me when I came as a second grader, you want to drive.
Yeah.
That's the reason you're there.
Absolutely. And we're going to touch on kind of everything that Safety Town kind of covers a little bit later. But what I remember, and Hank, I don't know, you might remember, because I have a couple old photos of them. There used to be like a homemade jail and a homemade bank. And it just said bank, or it just said City Hall.
Very generic.
Yeah. Now, what buildings are on the track now? Because y'all probably have like corporate sponsors, or do you not?
Yeah, we do. We have, well, not necessarily corporate. They can be mom and pops, local people. We try to get people in the vicinity, but we're welcome to anybody. We like money. We're a nonprofit,
But okay, and the stores and whatnot. Yeah, this isn't. I know. Everyone knows I'm an idiot. You can't actually walk into them, can you? They're not that big.
Our police and fire are big enough. Well, all the buildings are big enough to go in, but our police and fire, the goal is to have them interactive to where the kids can go in and experience. I know in our fire building we already have a pole.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say your fire department has a pole? Did you just say that? Vanessa, for the love of God, you're not training future oh, no. Let's put a Dalmatian in there or something.
Should we? Can we?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can get a Dalmatian.
And it doesn't even have to be real, but there are two.
I'm a big fan of pups. I know you are. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can talk to Courtney and work out something with them.
We can work out something with the animal shelter.
I will tell you, for our childhood and our youth, those were storage buildings. We kept the cars in there. That's where the cars went after the kids left. We always have them out before they show up and then spot.
Okay.
But then the doors would open up and you would slide the cars in there, and we would do maintenance and have spare batteries. And that's the mystery behind the facade.
Okay.
Right.
Back then.
Yeah. Because, I would just, Vanessa, you guys never wondered why the fire department building was so popular? And you're like, why do these kids want dollar bills?
Yeah. It had to have been those ritarees hanging out down there. I don't know.
I know. Yeah. All right. Let me pull us out of this rabbit hole real quick. Okay. Do you have any funny stories of it? And I don't want anyone to be injured or anything, but I would think you put. I mean, what age is it? First grade, second grade?
Second graders, 7 to 9 years old.
Okay, so second graders. There has to be anything that you can kind of have a little bit of fun with as far as people hitting, like running over, hitting a fence or... So
kids go in that far right corner. I don't know why. It's only it's a very small turn right there in that corner, but they always go over the hill there and go into the little ditch line. It's like every class. There's at least 2 every time. And I think it's that they're saying hey to their friends. Because there's a straight stretch there where you don't really see anybody else, and then you come into that curve. So it always happens.
It's like the old dog leg at First Street. Remember when you watch it?
It always happens.
They wave at each other, and all of a sudden they're like, "Help me!"
Yeah.
And what do you? I mean, I guess. You have to go turn the car off and pull them out?
So you don't have to turn it off. You just have to say, let go of your gas, because if not, you're going to run over me. And that happens a lot, too, because they're hand controlled. So gas and brake is on the steering wheel.
I feel like I'm going to go to hell for laughing at all these things. This is, but I'm just picturing. You guys you obviously know what you're doing, because I'm picturing just like a whole parking lot of monkeys and. In cars.
It's really funny because when I first started was literally a week before the pandemic hit and the school shut down.
That's correct.
So the group that I had when I first started and was learning, fantastic. The kids we have now since we've opened, they didn't have formal schooling. This is like their first real school year. So a lot of like the social emotional that they missed in the beginning, they're not only coming in with that dynamic, but also like they've not had a lot of interaction with other kids, period. So they're coming in excited to be on their first field trip. A lot of my kids this year, this is their first field trip ever, was the trip to Safety Town.
And they're driving.
And they're driving cars. So, they've been surprising, but they've also been very comical. I think like my favorite story, and I think this is a safe one to share, we had a little girl this year. She was a Cabell County kid, and she was just a go-getter. Like, she was curly-headed. She's got the bows, the ribbons, the perfect traffic outfit. Like, she's planned for this day.
Yeah.
Like, mom and dad have planned her. They know about mom and dad. She told me all about mom and dad coming.
This was an important day to mom and dad.
Yes.
It was an
yes. Like, she is ready. She introduces herself, tells me who she is, what her mom went, what she drove when she came, what her dad drove. Grandma done showed her pictures of it, the whole 9. So the officer comes in, and he wasn't there able to like get the kids off the bus because they had a call. So they come after, and he comes in, and I was like, boys and girls, we have a visitor, and direct their attention to the back of the room, and she's the first one to raise her hand. She's ready to go. And of course he calls on her because she's very cheerful, and she's like, well, this is who I am, and does the whole introduction again. She's ready to go. And she's like, my mom drove this. And she's like, well, okay, I'm done. And he was like, so you didn't have a question? She's like, well, I do have one. And he says, okay, what is it? And she says, do policemen marry bakers? And he was like, I think they can marry like whoever they want, Right. And she was like, oh, good, because I want to be a baker.
Oh,
And
my
then,
God. And she said, where's the building
and
with
she
the
was
pole?
adorable. She was adorable. So then when the fire department came, she did the whole spiel to one of the firemen. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And the policeman, like, he didn't know what to do. Like, he's just like blushing.
You know she's coming for your job, right?
Yes.
She's definitely coming for your job.
Oh my God, that's better than.
And she brought me cookies too. She actually is like baking at home. Like she
wow.
brought me cookies. It was fantastic.
The future of America is bright.
That is awesome. Oh my.
It was so wholesome though, because she's like not date. Can you marry a baker?
Yeah.
Can you marry him? Because that's what I'm going to be when I grow
Right.
up. And I'm going to marry, a Huntington hero. I'm going to marry a policeman or a fireman. I'm doing that.
That's fantastic. That's a better story than I was hoping for. I thought the pole was probably going to be maybe the pinnacle, but that girl is.
She was adorable.
That's. She's not going to have many lonely Friday and Saturday nights as she gets older, it sounds like. Okay. Time to play a game. I've got a couple games, but we're going to knock one of them out right now. I don't know. I love everybody listening to the show. Everybody just continues to say, oh, I love it when you do the this or that things and stuff. Do you all want to play as a team or do you want to play individually?
We'll go as a team.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Huntington.
And they have no idea of these questions, and they're probably like every guest I've ever had on the show and go, what the hell? What does that have to do with anything? But I tried to kind of time in a little bit. All right, question number 1. 1980, number 1 song in the country. Was it Funky Town, Safety Town, or Disco Town? It's one of those songs. Went to number 1 in 1980.
Jeez, Hank, I'm really gonna. I'm gonna lean on you for this one because I wasn't born until '85.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
It's probably one I know.
Yeah.
Falling into that gap. I'm sure my mom was a big fan, but I'm gonna lean on you.
Okay, I'm going to go Funky Town.
Look at Hank pulling out the Funky Town. Nobody gets it funkier than Hank. You are correct. Funky Town is number 1.
I
Yes.
like that. Can you change your Facebook name to that?
The Funky Town.
Funky Town Hank. No one's funkier.
All right. I don't want to. Yeah. Okay. Let's stay on this. There was a song in the 80s called Safety Dance. Was Safety Dance by Men Without Pants, Men Without Hats, Men Without Shoes? They were a one-hit wonder. Do you know? Vanessa's looking at me like I'm speaking Egyptian.
Well,
that's not even but
oddly enough, my
get
little
it?
brother is a really big fan, and I'm pretty sure, isn't it with no hats?
It's no hats.
Okay.
Men Without Hats is correct.
Yeah, little brother. He was obsessed. He's in several bands. He does the whole thing, and that was a thing for a while.
All right.
I've never seen a Men Without Hats cover band before. That's
No, they would play 2 songs. They would open with Safety Dance, and their encore would be Safety Dance,
Yes.
the extended version, and they'd probably try to get the audience into it.
Glad I missed that.
Yes, there we go. All right. This is a layup. In football, how many points is a safety?
Oh man, Hank, I am not a football.
Oh wait, no. I want Vanessa to answer this.
I agree. I'm going to leave her hanging on this one.
Yes. How many?
Is safety even a football thing?
Yeah, you can score a safety. How many points is a safety?
I don't even believe that.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Is it?
It's true.
Oh my gosh.
This answer is going to be golden. I'm loving it. No, or what do you think?
2. I don't know.
Nice. Was that a guess, or were you?
It's a total guess because I don't even believe that's a thing.
Okay, it is a thing, and it's 2 points.
Is it?
It is absolutely 2 points.
I felt like I was being played.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yes.
She has an earbud in. Somebody's feeding her.
Exactly. All right. Now I want to kind of move over a little bit over here to Hank, because when I was kind of prepping for the episode, I know there are certain questions you probably aren't going to be able to answer. But I have so many questions about being a policeman and law enforcement and all that stuff. All right. I don't even know which one to lead with.
It's kind of one of my other favorite things about this job is getting to talk to policemen.
Yeah. Okay. Clear this up for me. all right, when you're in your car driving, you basically cannot have a cell phone being held by your hand. You have to go Bluetooth. Is that?
Well, that is how we do it. I mean, that's the law. But I will tell you, police officer exempt on an emergency call. We can use cell phones.
Okay, gotcha.
We're allowed to do that.
But if I pull up to a stoplight, there's somebody next to me, and they're on their phone, and I see it, they are breaking the law.
If the car's moving.
Oh, if the car's not?
If you're at a stoplight, you can. If you're stopped, you're okay. You can't be moving.
Did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Did not know that. Okay. How about earbuds and headphones? Can you have those in while you drive, or is it like, no, you can't have them in because you have to be able to hear ambulances?
It's a bad idea.
That's what I was going to say.
But it's not illegal. But it is a bad idea to have them in because you can't hear around you. Same reason you shouldn't wear them on a bike.
Yes.
Oh,
that's a big one that we teach in class.
Yep.
Is there such thing? And this is kind of, let me flip back over to Safety Town real quick. Are there? I've always heard about on golf carts and stuff that these golf carts have governors, and people are like, we need to just turn up the governor to 10, and then we can go 60 miles an hour. Is that a real thing? Are there governors on these? Is that a thing?
I don't know that's. It's probably the term. That's a real thing, and our larger carts, our handicap accessible carts, actually do have that.
Okay.
Because again, they're amusement cars, and we can't have them go that fast.
And governors are a real thing.
Yes.
They even have them on NASCAR cars.
I wasn't sure if that was the term, but I knew it was a thing.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm continuing to prove that I'm an idiot. All right. Hank, you may have, and I don't want you to incriminate yourself or anything.
Right.
What would be one of the one of the worst things you've ever had to actually arrest someone for, where you just went, this person's so dumb, I have to, I mean, it's something where they just didn't get how life works?
Yeah. I mean, there are some. I mean, there's one case, and you also would know the name on this story, but
was it me?
It wasn't you.
Okay,
it wasn't you, and for the listeners, it really wasn't this time. This time,
this time.
Yeah. But I arrested a friend on Christmas Day that hit 4 cars. He just continued to drive down the road, going from car to car to car to car, and then he stops against a car, and I pull up, and he's like, Hank, and I'm like, hey,
Santa,
yeah.
How are you?
So here we go. You're going to have to go.
Where was he headed? Where was he headed? Do you have any idea?
Well, jail is
Where did he think he was going?
Nicely played.
Over to the next place.
Nicely played, headed to jail. But hold on, I've got a little sound effect here. Hold on. I know you all couldn't hear it, but anyway. Okay. This is a goofy question, but I can't help but ask. Can you get a DUI on a bicycle, like no motor on it?
Not only can you get a DUI on a bicycle, you can get a DUI on a horse in West Virginia.
I know someone that got a DUI in a wheelchair.
What? I didn't. I mean, I know everybody.
If you're on the roadway, if you're operating on the roadway.
If you're on the road and you're impaired.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Have you ever had to pull somebody over on that?
I have not. I have not done that one.
And you haven't done the horse one, have you?
I have not done the horse, but I've heard of it.
Okay, but if you're on a horse, you're probably in a field, I would guess.
You would think, but
you would hope.
Occasionally we have a horse rider come through Huntington. And
maybe if you're wasted, you're on. You don't even.
We have a guy in Westmoreland, like he's pretty well known on his horse. Yeah.
It's fairly regular. Yeah.
What if the horse is intoxicated?
That's a good question.
Is
that a Courtney question? Like, is that animal brutality?
I think so. I think we would have to call Courtney Cross on that one. It's funny she came up twice in this podcast.
All right, last question, because I've got too many, and I got to cut it off at some point. Is it illegal to have somebody in your trunk when you're driving?
That's how we snuck into movies as kids.
Yeah, see, and I'm
probably not the safest.
I've got East Drive-In episode coming up here in a little bit, and that was one of my things that went to my head is, even though you're just going kind of like from, all right, let's pull over here and put you in the trunk. And
that's
then
what I was going to say. Once we got to the parking lot, then the person went in the trunk before we came into the drive-in.
I think the key thing there is consent. If the person's consenting to be in the trunk, it's probably okay.
So
if the person is not consenting to be in the trunk, you're probably illegal.
If it's a Dexter situation and they've got
That's
tape
what I was
on
going
their
to say. I think we're
mouth
going down the
and-
Dexter rabbit hole here.
Yeah, okay.
And probably
Love
no
Dexter.
children below a certain size because you don't have a car
Child seat, yeah, need a
in the
child seat.
trunk. I don't think you can put small children in the trunk, but consenting adults can probably go in the trunk.
Wow, we're talking topics that I had no idea we were going to cover, but I love it. I love it. All right. Now I know we've been talking about traffic and all the parts of Safety Town as far as that's concerned. But I know that Safety Town has definitely evolved, and I don't want to get too deep into this because we obviously have got a problem in our area.
Absolutely.
And from what I understand, and naturally and thankfully, you guys cover this with the kids. Tell us a little bit about, besides just what a stop sign is, what else are you guys teaching the kids at Safety Town?
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and thank the city for taking interest in me because I was a preventionist prior to this and touching with the problems that you spoke on. So the city saw the need we want to help too. Mm-hmm. We want to make a difference. So I was approached, offered the job to bring in the harder stuff. So now we touch on body safety, what to do, if grandma doesn't wake up off the couch or things of that nature. So we're able to touch on a lot more. And even let's not share the Tylenol if you're staying the night with a friend. On a Friday night, let's call mom and dad first and make sure that it's okay.
Right.
Because drugs, we all have this negative thought when we hear the word drug, but drugs are not bad per se. Advil is helpful, penicillin helpful. Those are drugs. So we need to take that negative thought out of children's mindset when that word is mentioned. So that's a big part of our curriculum now.
Well, I
love that the city sees the importance of it because it's our reality now.
Yeah, and since we've moved on to something serious, we have that. It's a three-legged stool. It's treatment, it's prevention, and it's enforcement. A lot of times people get into arguments about, do we need to invest in treatment? Do we need to invest in prevention? Do we need to invest in law enforcement? And the answer is yes to all three.
All three.
We have to do all three because if you don't have one of the three, then it's a problem. But the magic thing is with prevention is it reduces the need for the other two.
Right.
If you get prevention right, you actually avoid bad things happening in people's lives.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's something that. I guess it's just the sign of the times, but at least you guys are addressing it and not just trying to put it in the shadows. And I'm sure it's helped. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely a reality. Some of the things that the kid and that's a big conversation that we had at the city is the children who are coming to Safety Town now are not the life that they live is not the life that I lived when I went there. It's not the life that you guys lived when you experienced Safety Town. We have this big thing called grand families now, where so many grandparents are raising the children. So like that in of itself is a huge thing. So when I'm teaching, we don't say mom, dad. I say you're adult. So just just everyday things that a lot of people don't think about is that's the normal for a lot of these children.
And we cover the region, correct? We cover all of Wayne and Cabell County.
All of Wayne and Cabell County.
Okay.
So every second grader in Wayne and Cabell County comes through our doors and gets that education.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So Safety Town is not really open. I'm not going to say it's not open to the public, but it's not something. It's not an amusement park for those who are not familiar.
Right. It's not an amusement park.
You don't go buy a ticket.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So you're going with your class and that
it's an educational field trip.
Yes. Okay. So Safety Town is still there, and I know where it is, but what's the actual location?
We're at 1450 Memorial Boulevard.
Okay. Gotcha. Boy, oh boy.
Right at the end of the park.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So. Well, hopefully this episode has lived up to your expectations. I want to thank Hank Dial, Vanessa Hankins. They've both been here. They've dedicated their time like they always do. If you have questions or
Well, hang on, WG, one second. You got to quiz me. I think it's only fair. I got to quiz you.
Oh, hold on. Let me get ready.
Am I off the hook on this one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, you're.
Oh,
Are we also?
What are we team?
We're. I want to hold on. Oh, we got to think of something goofy and witty. Damn, my wit has just gone out the door. We are going to be team governor.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, we're ready.
Team Governor. We're gonna talk traffic safety today, since the theme is Safety Town.
Hopefully, I still have my job after this.
Yeah,
Yep.
Vanessa, I'm going to have to lean on you. Go ahead.
Question number 1.
Okay, oh God.
You're driving a vehicle, and as you approach the intersection, the light turns yellow. What are you required to do?
Floor it. No, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say go fast.
No,
That's what the kids tell me.
What are you required to do? I didn't know.
Approaching the intersection and it turns yellow as you're approaching.
As you approach.
Haven't made it yet.
I guess what do you think? My answer would have to be slow
We're
down.
slowing down. We're going to be predictable. No?
Is it stop?
It's stop. You cannot enter on yellow. So the old excuse of, officer, it was yellow when I went through it, is an admission of guilt. You cannot enter on yellow.
Oh, man.
Yellow is for while you're
Explains
under the
that
light.
ticket a few years ago.
It's while you're under that light. Yeah.
I broke 2 laws just getting here today. Good God. All right, oh my God. All right. Do you have another one? That's a good one.
All right.
That's good.
Let's see. How do I word this one? If you are turning left on a roadway or right, are you required to signal?
Yes.
I would.
Why would you not? Be predictable.
I would say. I would say yeah. Are you required? Is that the
law?
I think is the key word required.
That's what I'm wondering.
Or am I overanalyzing this?
So that was like the best advice I've ever been given for traffic is be predictable because
Yep.
we all learn the same thing. So if the driver behind you can predict what you are about to do,
Okay.
I think we need that signal. We need that signal.
You're getting, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the answer is no. You're only required to signal if your turning affects another vehicle. So yes, if someone is behind you. So
We weren't thinking of the full picture.
4 a.m.
We were assuming
you're out
traffic.
there, it's only you. There's no other traffic. You are not required to signal.
Hank Dow, you're better at these games than I am.
What about red lights if no one's around to see?
That's a good question.
You got to stop at the red light.
My husband will be
But
very
if it's
sad to
4
hear
a.m.
that.
and you stop and sit there the whole time, we want to look at you a little funny. we're thinking they really don't want pulled over.
If you sit through 4 or 5
4 or 5 red
cycles
lights,
of
it's
red
probably
lights,
not-
then you
probably not a
go,
good thing.
no.
Yeah.
that's
It's
so
like,
funny.
It's like you should have got to Taco Bell faster, my friend.
That S curve, that
to
S
Taco
curve in
Bell.
Westmoreland gets my husband every morning at 4 a.m. when he's
Yeah.
going into work.
You have any more? These are fantastic.
These are
Okay.
great.
Last one.
Okay, last one. Ready?
For your vehicle to operate on a roadway in West Virginia,
Okay.
do you have to have a windshield?
Oh, God. Do you have to have a windshield?
I feel like it'd be really dumb not to.
You won't get
Because
bugs in your teeth.
Yeah.
oh yeah, bugs, birds, poop. I mean, what else? I mean, this is West Virginia.
Not sure what. Oh, that's okay.
I literally had pliers thrown into my windshield at one point in time off the interstate that had fallen off a rollback.
I would say no, because like if you actually on a roadway, because like I'm thinking a golf cart that would not have one, but I'm not operating.
So I know
that
I was
on
going to
a-
say at the beach we have a golf cart, and I know we are required for it to be road safe to have it. But West Virginia, I feel like, and I'm just this is just my thoughts. I feel like yes, just because of the whole thing with the ATVs becoming road legal.
Yeah.
I know they had to have them, so I would say yes.
Vanessa is saying yes, and I'm going to be evil Knievel and say no.
Well, Vanessa, you're
odds.
3 for 3.
Damn it.
She missed all 3.
She missed all 3.
I'm definitely getting fired, right, Hank?
3 strikes.
Well, these are trick questions. But in West Virginia, you are not required to have a windshield, but you are required to have wipers.
What?
Yes, the wipers are required.
That's some of these old laws that are.
Oh my God, those are great. I had no idea. I'm going to approach. And as soon as somebody honks behind me when I stop at a yellow light,
Yeah.
Blame Hank.
Good question. Can I put my car? Are you allowed to put your car in park and go back to the person behind you and yell
Educate?
at them?
That would be ill-advised.
Okay.
You say
That would be
yell, I say
ill-advised.
educate.
I mean,
Because there's that concealed weapon law and all that kind of stuff.
that's one of those things that there's a number of times you can get by with it, and then
I don't want to be a statistic.
No.
So, all
Probably
right.
not a great idea.
Okay. Wow, this has been awesome. All right, so we're gonna sign off here, but. Hank, Vanessa, thank you so much for you guys coming in. If you have questions about Safety Town, Vanessa, where's the best place to go, either online or phone number or what?
Online, you can reach me at hankinsv@huntingtonwv.gov. It's changed a few times on us.
Actually, they all work.
Yeah, they all work. It'll work. It'll go through, whether it's com or gov. But then also we have a actual website. It's safetytownwv.com.
Okay.
And you can go through the city's website to get to that, or go directly to it, whichever you'd like. And then we have Facebook. We love Facebook, social media.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've been to the Facebook page. Yeah.
We got Facebook. We want people to interact with us. We'd love for our people to share some memories with us more. It'd be
Awesome.
great.
we should probably put this podcast on
We
the
will
Facebook
have to.
page.
Yes, we will have to.
That would be that. We would certainly appreciate it. So, all right. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for listening. We certainly appreciate you guys listening. Love the audience. Thank you two, for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
And WG Bunch. And I'll tell you what, we'll have Vanessa take us out. And Vanessa, go ahead.
We are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@htstimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.